Jimmy, both Steve and Draymond said that 4-point shot play that Van Vliet had really seemed to turn the game. Did you feel that when you were on the court that it kind of was deflating?
Yeah. Anytime you start out a quarter not organized, not matched up, it's definitely deflating. One play that definitely turned the tides, but we're not going to sit here and say that that's the real reason why we lost.
What would you say is the reason?
We just gotta get these 50-50 balls. We gotta rebound better. That's been the story this entire series. They've gotten the loose balls and they've gotten way too many offensive rebounds.
You guys you missed, I think, 14 of your first 15 to open the fourth after that Van Vliet three. What would you say is leading to some of these prolonged offensive droughts?
I think it's the pressing part of it. We'll be fine. We just got to continue to make the right play time after time after time. If somebody's open, they get the ball, you create for somebody else, and then just the karma of the game, you're going to find yourself more open more often than not.
Jimmy, what would you say would be the reason for the lack of hustle plays coming out on you guys? Is in a lack of effort or a lack of energy?
I won't say that it's a lack of effort. It's just if you want to do it or not. That is the bottom line. If you want to rebound, if you want to dive on a loose floor, if you want to take a charge, all those little things is if you want to do it. It's really that simple.
You always talk about taking the right shot or getting to the right shot. Do you think some of the guys are turning down the right shot a little bit too often?
Sometimes, yeah. But, too much of any good thing is a bad thing. You can be way too unselfish. You can be way too passive. I think you got to find a fine line. And, yes, obviously if Steph is open, you pass up your shot to get it to him. But when it comes to everybody else, like if you find your shot and you're in rhythm, you take it. If you're not, it's simple. Pass it to the next open guy or create for somebody else or create for yourself. I think a lot of the times we do a lot of thinking and it doesn't end well for us.
Jimmy, you think you've been in 4 Game 7s. Draymond and Steph have played in 5 each. On the other side, they have a total of like 10 Game 7 experience. Where does that playoff experience of being in a Game 7 help you guys the most?
I think we just know how important it is. They do too, though. On the road, backs against the wall. I think this is why you play this game. I know, we know that we have the opportunity to win the game. So on the road, at Houston, Game 7, Sunday at some time.
And you said the other night after the game, the confidence hasn't wavered. Now that you've lost 2 in a row, where is it at?
At an all-time high. It's now, out of all times, it's win or go home. It's not wavering. We know how good of a team we are. Like you said, a couple of us has been here before, multiple times. So it's on us to make sure we get it done.
Jimmy, from your experience, tell us what a Game 7 feels like, how it's different, what's the vibe is like, what the energy, the whole feeling.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be higher energy, but it shouldn't feel any different for anybody. You go out there and you play basketball the way that you know how to play it. For us, for my teammates, those nerves don't need to set in. We're going to be just fine. Game 7 is not the hardest thing in the world, so we'll be okay.
Jimmy, Steven Adams has been a huge factor in this series, especially in this game. When you look at some of the offensive boards he's been getting and just his dominance inside, what's an adjustment you think you guys can make for Game 7 to kind of neutralize him or try to neutralize him?
Just get the ball. You got to jump. You got to get the ball. It's hard. It is. But if you want to win in this league, you definitely got to do some hard things. So just got to go get the ball.
Speaking as one who's guarding him and you've got the tailbone, like how do you feel physically? Like where's your level? Good enough. I probably got to jump up there and get some more rebounds. I've been being lazy, so I'm going to definitely chase after the loose balls, dive, do all of that good stuff come Game 7. I should have been doing it anyways, but lead by example. If I do it, everybody else got to do it. You know, end of games, tight games, it's about getting inside, like attacking the paint, high percentage shots. Do you feel like y'all are doing that enough? Are you settling for too many threes in those high leverage moments?
We already shoot a lot of threes, so we're going to take the shots that are given to us. And it actually is my job to make sure that I get inside the paint, get some layups, get to the free throw line, collapse the defense, and kick it to the open shooter. So if I haven't been doing enough, then I will do it more.
I mean, you and Steph obviously carried the heaviest load on the offensive end, but what do you need from your supporting cast? I mean, is it effort? Is it just production? Is it efficiency? What do you need from the guys to kind of get this team where you want to be?
Confidence. Keep them confident. Keep doing what y'all are doing. It's not on y'all. It's on all of us. So we're going to win together. We're going to lose together. But I know we're definitely going to win together come Sunday.
And how would you describe the vibe before the game tonight, going into this game?
We good. We good. We smiling. We listen to our music, celebrating life, and we're ready to compete. We're ready to compete tonight. Things didn't go our way. Okay, we're gonna be ready to compete on Sunday, and we're gonna make the game go our way.
Steven Adams was a factor for the Rockets tonight. Just going into Game 7, how do you guys kind of adjust to what he was able to do tonight if he's able to do that at home in
We'll be
Game
all right.
7?
I think we got to stop focusing so much on them and focus on us. If we do that, then we're going to be fine. We're not going to sit here and act like we've been playing our best version of basketball, because we haven't. And they've been doing okay, but they haven't played their best version of basketball either. So what we're going to do, we're going to focus on us. We're going to get the ball from Steven Adams for the last time, but we got to focus on us. We can't keep focusing on the Houston Rockets.
Jimmy, from the outside, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, this team is veteran, 35, 37, and now they got to go all the way back to Houston with very little rest and win another game, and that's going to be so hard. How do you guys react to this kind of noise about age and travel and the toll this series is taking?
I've never been one to listen to the outside noise or people as a whole, because they just be saying stuff and half of it don't make sense. So we'll be all right. I mean, I'm 35. I can't remember how old Steph is. I think Dre 35 too. We'll be all right. Everybody got to travel the same distance. It ain't like we're going to go around the world and then land in Houston and they only got a 5-minute flight to Houston. So they got to travel just like we got to travel.
Steph, many of your teammates have come in here and said that the downfall tonight is not getting after the 50-50 balls, the want to kind of get those hustle plays and have them go in your favor. Why do you think that is happening, and how do you think that changes in Game 7?
You just got to go do it. Like, we were down, 2 going into the fourth. They are playing zone against us pretty much, the whole second half, and you can kind of look at the possession here. That the start of the fourth, Fred getting an and 1-3. That's a tough momentum play. Jabari got 2 threes off of a good hustle play and a tough turnover, and then another offensive rebound that turned into a 3 that, a possession here, possession there. It's not just the points on the board. It's a feeling. It's a vibe. It's a morale. It's momentum. And, you got to dig deep to win these type of games. So, thankfully, we have another opportunity to go do it. Very confident that we can go do it.
Steph, do you see some sense of hesitancy on some of your guys not to take the shot? Do you tell them, hey, it's okay if you miss or make, just take the shot, or do you want them to keep passing the ball, just trying to make sure the perfect shot's there?
There's a reason they're playing us zone for a whole half, pretty much, and they're trying to force a certain type of shot. Obviously, I took probably 4 heavily contested deep threes just to try to kind of will us. But if they're going to do that and they're going to play zone and make certain guys shoot it, then it's the same way we talk about it all season long, regular season, playoffs. Like, everybody's in this league for a reason. If you have a shot, take it. I don't need to say anything. Coach don't need to say anything. You're out there, be aggressive. Look for your shot, and we'll live with it. That's the name of the game. The shots that we're creating or the shots that are open, keep taking them.
Do you have to, as you look at this zone, do you feel like you're getting the looks you want? Just going back to that answer, do you just feel like you need to keep doing the same thing and hopefully your other guys make those shots, or do you guys need to attack this zone different?
Well, it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, I don't know if it's a surprise. It might be a little bit of surprise that they played that much zone, but I think we could probably look at a little bit more film and see where those shots are, see where those driving lanes are. Obviously, when you drive, they have Steven Adams in the middle of the paint waiting on you. So whether that's a drive to a kick to a swing that's going to get you a step-in three, I think we can be a little bit more patient on certain possessions. But you have to make shots at the end of the day. Fred hit some big momentum ones. Jabari hit some big momentum ones. Those are, can swing momentum again. So for us, don't panic. Just, make the necessary adjustments and understand how they're defending us, and we should be all right.
Steph, you and Draymond have 5 Game 7s together, and Jimmy's played in 4 of them over here. Where does that Game 7 experience factor in the most when you're actually in a Game 7? How does it help you guys the most?
Just the confidence that no matter how it looks, we can get it done. We need to be composed. We need to be able to manage the emotions of the next 48 hours. Again, not panic, but have a sense of urgency on the adjustments that we need to make going into Game 7. And how to deal with a hostile environment. I think we've had one in that building before, and you understand the crowd is going to be into it. How we start the game is going to matter, but it's going to be a long 48 minutes to stick with it and, come with a level of aggressiveness, intention to detail, or attention to detail, and just the idea that, it's going to be a game of runs. You got to just embrace it, have fun with it, show up with a kind of killer instinct. Everybody got to be like that.
Steph, this is like my 3rd time watching you play. And I'll say it gets crazier every time. Seeing you get triple teamed, you're getting held almost every play. So how do you stay locked in the whole time when the defense is doing everything it can to stop you or get you involved?
Just embrace it and still try to find a way to impact the game. You see all type of defenses, and at the end of the day, you have to be able to figure it out.
How do you feel physically? What are your fatigue levels?
I actually feel great. You're having to work, and that's fine. I think it's weird because the zone, it doesn't necessarily take the most out of you, or demand the most physically. It's just mentally trying to figure out where the holes, where the pockets are, where the openings are. But I feel great.
Is the solution to get in the paint, or is it to make, shoot them out of a zone, or do you want to get inside?
I mean, it's a balance because, again, they have size, and they're playing the 2 bigs and trying to buy possessions defensively with the zone so that they can take advantage of it on the other end. I think in the 4th quarter, we struggled that first 6 minutes, and you have to resist the temptation to rush and force shots if it's me or Jimmy trying to get good looks, but use the attention they're going to throw at us, whether it's me running around trying to find openings or Jimmy driving, to make the defense collapse and swing and find open looks. But I think for the most part, we got a lot of pretty good looks in the 4th. We just didn't make them. And then on the other end, they made a couple. They got a bunch of offensive rebounds. And then we had to go hack at Steven Adams for a while. So make shots. And that's me, that's Jimmy, that's everybody.
You mentioned a couple of times that Kuminga could or should have a role in this series. I know he's played a little bit already, but could Game 7 be a really nice time for that for him?
I think everything's on the table for sure, and him included. It's the ultimate challenge of staying ready. I know he has answered that question plenty of times that he is ready, and it's going to be good for us to get into the war room and figure out what those adjustments are going to be, personnel-wise, scheme-wise, to give our best effort for Game 7. The good part or the fun part about this is no matter how it looks, you win one game, you hit reset and get an opportunity to play another series. And this is a grind. This is tough. This is what it's supposed to be in the playoffs, to bring the best out of you, to earn the right to get to the next round. So for us, everybody's got to be willing to step up, and if you're asked to play, you're asked to impact the game, be ready to go do it.
Steph, you just said this is a grind, and it's obviously been a grind. One of the subplots is that you guys are an older team, and now having to fly, play game, go back and forth. Is it taking a toll? Is it harder now than it was a couple years ago?
It's different. It's always been hard to win. Like, don't get that twisted in terms of not just you, everybody. Just in the sense of, like, winning is hard and sustaining it is hard, and there are different challenges of figuring out a team that's trying to, take you out of your rhythm or your patterns or whatnot, and you're playing against a really good team. So if you want to win at the highest level, you have to embrace the hard, whether it's the physical challenges of, doing it at this stage of your career, or whether it's just because you're playing a good team. Like, we've had challenges all throughout this run, and this is another one.
Steph, you guys have had a couple chances to close them out this series. Just what is your reaction to the fact that it got to Game 7 this series?
I mean, thankfully we have another game to play, and we did our work early in the series to give us some cushion. But they're the 2 seed. They have home court advantage in the series because they're a really good team, and they've demonstrated that all season. We've been on a run since the trade to have an opportunity to play a Game 7 in a playoff series and get to the next round. So again, in February, if you told us we had a Game 7, we would take that all day long. How we got here, not happy about it, but we do have another opportunity.
Steph, over here, how are Game 7s different than Games 1 through 6? I mean, they're all intense and competitive. What's different about a Game 7? And related question, do you have any specific snapshot memory of Game 7 in Sacramento 2 years ago?
No, it's just the nerves and the adrenaline, and you understand the stakes. If you don't play a game, your best game, or you don't figure out a way to win, you're going home. But it's also exhilarating because when you do, it brings the best out of you, and there's no better feeling of closing out a series, with just the whole Game 7 vibe. So there's one tomorrow. We get to watch it. We got one on Sunday. Like, it's what this league's about, and it's a great opportunity to show up when it matters most, and have an opportunity to move on. So you don't really do anything different, but you have to embrace the nerves and the adrenaline of it.
Do you have a specific memory from Sacramento?
I mean, that was just a great game overall. Hopefully I can repeat that.
Asked Draymond earlier about how there were some moments in this game when your guys were frustrated, visibly frustrated, Draymond, Pods, and I said, is that because of something that Rockets were doing to you guys, or is it because of something you guys weren't doing? He had an answer. What's your answer to that? Why was the frustration level sort of visible at times today?
There were momentum plays that you want to have back, like 50-50 balls that we didn't get, offensive rebounds that we let them have. just breakdowns where they're getting open looks. There were times we would make a run, we couldn't get over the hump, and like you understand there was pressure to win on your home floor. They're playing great. Like, you got to give them credit. It's not like we're just laying an egg and rolling over. We're fighting. We're trying to compete. There's just in the margins some things that we can do better and control what we can control. And I think we can do that in Game 7.
Steph, knowing that things change year to year in this league, how much does will play a factor in just wanting to have another game, another series with this particular group of guys on your team?
It's kind of baked into the nature of a Game 7. If you don't show up with that appropriate mentality, then you got a long vacation ahead of you. So you don't want to be the team that's packing up. We're packing for a week, getting on this plane to go to Texas and hopefully go to Minnesota right after. That's the approach, and I know we're all excited about the fact that we still have life left, even though these last 2 games haven't gone our way.
Great, thank you. Draymond, how much disappointment is there in that locker room or in your mind that not being able to take care of this at home?
It's a little frustrating. You get the opportunity to close out at home, want to do it. Nonetheless, it's a 7-game series. We know we can win there. Got to go get the win.
Well, you just kind of mentioned what I wanted to ask. You know you can win there. So obviously you guys feel that you can win. What do you need to do on the road to make sure you guys come out of this one with a win?
Get loose balls. I think they probably had 20 points off broken plays and getting loose balls and kicking out for threes. So get loose balls and we'll defend them way better. Kind of getting the first effort. But in order to beat this team, you got to make second and third efforts. And last 2 games, we have not done that.
Do you think that's due to fatigue or just a lack of effort?
I think it can be due to whatever. The reality is the person who wants the ball more will get it. And right now, it seems as if they want it more.
I mean, there were times in this game you could see, you and Pods especially, where you guys looked like you were frustrated with the way things were going. How much of the frustration was based on what you guys were not doing, and how much was it with what they were doing?
It's all with what we're not doing, which is fighting to come up with the loose balls when they're out there. It's all what we're not doing.
Is that a very correctable thing, you think?
Absolutely.
Draymond, what you guys have played, I think you played in 5 Game 7s. How is the vibe different? And what's the challenge like after 2 disappointing losses to your season's obviously on the line in 48 hours?
Yeah. You move past the 2 losses, they don't matter. A Game 7 is Game 7. I think anytime you had an opportunity to play in a Game 7, it's fun. It's exciting. It's for all the marbles. So move on. I mean, we've moved on. Learn from what we did wrong. It's kind of obvious what we did wrong. Get ready for the game. But I think Game 7s are fun.
I know you're kind of blaming the loss on some of the effort stuff that didn't go right, but you guys also missed, I think, 14 of your first 15 to start the 4th when you kind of lost control of the game. Like, what is so difficult right now offensively, particularly when, they're going very big and they go to a zone?
I think it was less about the zone and more about we started off the 4th quarter a 2-point game and we gave up a 4-point play. And it's just like you lose the life, So you got to give them some credit. They're doing a great job defensively. That's who they've been. That's why they're the 2 seed. It's because they have a great defense. But in saying that, we can't give up a 4-point play in a 2-point game off 1 pass ahead. That's crazy. So, yeah, they're doing a great job defensively, but I thought it was also caused by, kind of just losing the life after that.
What in your, I guess, view, what happened on that play? Just
I don't know. I haven't seen a replay of it. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously we didn't get matched up. Fred VanVleet's got 17 threes in 3 games. And he's wide open coming out of a timeout. That's crazy.
I guess to follow on that, just what are you noticing with the way you guys are defending him, or what problems are emerging when he has the ball?
I think it's just comfortable. You know, he's comfortable. He's getting to what he wants to get to. Somehow you got to break that up. But he's too comfortable.
Draymond, you've been in a lot of big games back here, a lot of big games, Game 7s on the road. What is the difference and what's a key to getting off to a good start?
Just got to meet force with force. Execute the game plan. You know, everybody will be excited. There'll be hype in there. They'll be loud. And then the game starts and it's just basketball. So you got to execute your game plan. Stay the course. They're going to make runs. Stay the course. Continue to fight. But got to execute.
How do you see Steven Adams moving out there and the impact he's having on the game? Like, he had 31 minutes in this game.
He's having a great impact. He's doing a great job on the offensive glass. He's doing a great job defensively. I just wish we could get a 3-second call. You know, you stand in the paint, whole possession. It's hard to box out. He's strong as hell. So, you know, being outweighed by, 40, 50 pounds, 6 inches, you can just stand in the paint. It's tough to box him out. So, hopefully we'll get a 3-second call next game. But he's doing incredible.
Draymond, obviously, everything has to be on the table for Game 7, and Kerr said that there's a 100% chance he's going to consider playing Jonathan in Game 7. A lot to ask, but do you think that he would be something interesting to see in a Game 7?
Yeah, he cut out for it. He cut out for whatever you throw at him. He built the right way for that, 1,000%.
If any of your younger teammates asked you for advice about how to approach a Game 7 that's going to have a lot of pressure, what would you tell them?
I'll tell my younger players that because they got younger players and I don't need them getting my advice.
Draymond, as you guys were getting ready for this series, Fred hadn't shot the 3-ball well mostly all season. He hasn't. Are you surprised at all by how well he shot these last few games? Because at first he wasn't shooting at all. I mean, we couldn't get balls to drop.
No, I'm not surprised one bit. Fred VanVleet is the reason we lost to Toronto in the finals. So we know what he's capable of. Not surprised at all.
Just ask you about some of the big basketball news today with Gregg Popovich transitioning.
Oh, man, that is my guy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but wow.
Take it.
Coach Pop is incredible. And none of us knew when that day would come that he'd hang him up. But it sucks to see him go. You love running down the court, seeing him on the sideline. I had the ultimate honor of playing for him and winning a gold medal. And it meant so much to him. He has a military background, obviously, and it just meant so much. And wow, he's one of the most incredible human beings. You get this this wall that everyone sees. You know how everybody say everyone says Steven Adams a gentle giant. That's Pop. You got this wall that's you ask a dumb question, he's gonna crush you, right? And it just appears as if he's this mean old man. And he is the complete opposite. Complete opposite. The nicest person you ever want to be around. He cares about people so much. And I was lucky enough and honored to have the opportunity to spend a summer with him and play for him. I gave him my shoes from the gold medal game. He wore them to the first game we played them. And every hug since then has meant so much to me, just to go over to the sideline and hug him. And to see him leave this game from the sideline, obviously they say he'll be the president, but that does nothing for me. But to not, it sucked playing against the Spurs this year and look over and not see him there. And to know that I'll never get that opportunity again, I just wish I had one last time to go hug him on the sideline before a game. I know I sound like he's dead, he's not, but he's meant so much to this league, and he means so much to me. His job well done, well-deserved retirement. I hope he enjoys the hell out of it. Clearly, he's not going far because he's going to stay working in basketball. But, man, just everything he's meant to this game. And I'm incredibly grateful that I had the opportunity to play for him.
Draymond, the last Game 7 you had, Steph scored 50 points. And I'm just wondering how you see him respond to that kind of pressure when probably everyone is looking to him to do something special.
We look to him to do something special every night. For the last 13 years I've been here, I don't think it's any different.
Just an energy level situation, was a loss of confidence. Just generally, what would you explain?
I didn't like our first half with the turnovers. I think we had 10, and that's the key to the whole series is our ball security. And so the 10 turnovers in the first half got us off to a rough start. With that said, we're down 2 going into the fourth. And I thought the key play was the 4-point play to start the quarter. And that's on us as a staff. We've got to be we got to make sure they're matched up. And, they just threw it. We didn't guard Van Vliet. They threw it up the floor, and he knocks it down and gets the free throw. And that felt like a game-changing play because, it's, like I said, 2-point game. We're right where we need to be despite not having played very well and turned it over quite a bit.
Steve, do you see a common thread or commonality with the turnovers? That's such a big issue. Is there something that's similar between them? Or?
We have the 3 wins in this series. We're averaging, I think, 10 or 11 turnovers. So it's just we're in a rush. We got to slow down a little bit.
With that being said, I mean, there was the 4-point play, but I think you guys missed like 14 of 15 shots in the fourth quarter. What happened offensively, would you say, during that stretch?
Well, they were in a zone. They played Adams quite a bit, and he's at the center of that zone, kind of a 2-1-2. I thought we got some good looks against the zone. But then once they pulled away by 10 or 12, it was easier for them to run us off the line. We had a lot of openings, but they were using their length to run us off the 3-point line, knowing that we had to make threes to get back in it. And I thought they did a good job of kind of running us off the line and keeping us from, knocking down threes to get us back in the game.
It would kind of seem outside looking in that you guys, your issues are not being able to solve this zone. But from some of your answers, it sounds like you feel okay about what you're getting against it. I mean, do you go to Game 7, believing that you can? Like, how much change do you think is needed against the zone, or not?
How much change?
Yeah, how you're attacking it, personnel, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's, playing zone offense is really about getting the ball to open space and then filling behind the play and moving the ball. And like I said, we've had a lot of good zone possessions in this series. And I thought we had some tonight, but, I think we'll do a better job in Game 7. We've got another tape to watch, and, we'll see some things. But, it's definitely been a factor. Adams was fantastic tonight. 31 minutes, probably the most he's played, in a couple of years. But he was so effective that Ime kept him out there, and they controlled the game while he was out there. We fouled him, and then they got a couple of rebounds after his missed free throws too. So that wasn't very effective ultimately. So we got some things that we can clean up. We got a Game 7 though, and we're excited about that.
Coach, 37 from 90 from the field, 15 for 49 from beyond the arc. Do you think fatigue played a role in that?
No, I don't think fatigue was a factor.
Obviously, Game 7, maybe everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table for Game 7, for sure.
Yeah, given some of the struggles maybe some of the other guys are having, even taking a shot, but definitely making him. I know it would be a lot to ask a guy who hadn't played a lot. Is Jonathan Kuminga on the table to play?
100%, he's on the table. You know this. We've kind of found a formula here in the latter part of the season, and we've stayed with that formula to start the series up 3-1. Things are going well, and then obviously last 2 games have gone very poorly. We have to assess everything and lineup combinations, starters, all of that we have to assess, and we feel like we got a great chance to go down there and win Game 7.
Steve, as the Rockets kept answering your comebacks, it looked like certain guys were starting to show signs of frustration. Draymond, Pods. I mean, is that an issue for you guys right now, just trying to stay together?
Staying together will not be an issue. This team has been connected and has been through everything. There's no question the frustration tonight set in. I could see it, the body language. We can't have that. We can't afford that in Game 7. We've got to stay tight whole way through. And like I said, I like our chances. I've seen what this group can do over the years. We've been in a lot of Game 7s, I believe, and had a lot of success. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. I mean, he's been in, all of these games and is one of the clutch performers in the league. So we'll get ready. We'll regroup and be ready to roll.
Van Vliet has been super hot past few games.
Yeah.
What have you seen defensively against him, and what could you guys change to?
Well, we started Gary because of Fred. The last 2 games, he was 12 for 18 from 3. Tonight, I got hot again, 6 for 9. Tonight, it felt like offensive boards and kickouts. I thought we handled the pick and roll stuff much better than last game, and so it didn't feel like he was getting his threes on, on pick and roll action. It was more, second chance opportunities. They got some offensive boards, kicked it out. They had 19 points off second chance. I think he had a couple threes off those.
Steve, you've played 5 Game 7s in the Steph era, I think 4 of them with you. Anything from those games that you can use as sort of lessons and reminders? And it's a pretty quick turnaround after 2 disappointing losses.
Yeah.
What's the challenge in sort of mentally recharging in 48 hours for your season's on the line?
That's the goal. That's the key, right? Starts right now. Players, getting hydrated and getting their rest tonight, and coaches figuring out, what our adjustments will be, and we'll get on the plane tomorrow and we'll be ready to go. I can tell you, our guys are going to be excited, and as I said, I have every confidence that they can get this done.
And can you describe briefly sort of how the vibe's different in Game 7? I mean, there's obviously intensity through all these series, but when it gets to Game 7, what's that like?
It just feels slower. It feels like most Game 7s are kind of rock fights. There's a different vibe. There's a nervous vibe with the home crowd, and there's just a sense of, all right, we're finally here. It's been 2 weeks and both teams throwing haymakers at each other and all that, and that's why people love watching them at home. Game 7s are special, and they're fun to be a part of.
Quentin had, I think, 5 fouls in 17 minutes. It seemed like they were kind of going at him a little bit. How difficult are you seeing this series kind of become for him in the way that they're kind of attacking him?
Yeah, I thought he handled himself pretty well defensively in the first half. Second half, he got the 2 fouls, I think late third, early fourth, where he came over to help. He was a half step late, and he got the blocking calls. And so we'll watch the tape, and we'll try to help him out on that. But Quentin's been great for us. This second half of the season, and a very important player for us. And I won't hesitate to put him out there in Game 7 if I think that's the right call.
Steve, you told us why you went to Gary to control Fred.
Yeah.
Offensively, with Gary and Draymond being out there together, potentially some spacing issues, how do you think that unit looked.
Well, that's the equation for us. You know, we have to make these decisions. Every coach has to make decisions based on, you know, offense, defense. Gary has shot it really well. I think coming into tonight, he was 45% from three. He's been making the corner three in this series. So we felt like the gamble was worth it to put him on Fred, and you know, we knew that you know, taking Brandon out would hurt us a little bit in terms of flow and playmaking, but that was the you know, the gamble we took. I don't think it hurt us too badly, you know, but Fred got going anyway, and so in the end, you know, we have to reassess that one and other decisions as well.
Steve, Draymond and Steph have played in 5 of these games each, and then Jimmy has 4. And then on the other side,
game sevens.
Game sevens. The other side, they have 4 guys that have played a combined total of 10 game sevens. From your experience, where does the game 7 playoff experience factor in the most when you're in those type of games?
You mean what aspect of the game?
In a game 7, yeah. Having been through those, when you have that type of experience.
Just confidence, belief. I know our guys believe, and they'll be ready to go. Thank you.